Hey, my name's Jennifer Wright. I'm not a professional YouTuber or influencer or anything, so forgive the lack of professional audio or filming quality or noises in the background or whatever. I have kids and I'm sure it's going to be a little distracting, but I've been wanting to make this video for a while because about a year ago, I was 20 weeks pregnant. I was working out, nothing too crazy. I am a personal trainer, so I know how to work out safely while I'm pregnant. I was doing some unweighted step ups, came down on my foot, my left foot, and heard that dreaded pop. And I knew something was wrong. I knew something was worse than just an average kind of injury. And we went to the urgent care and I broke my foot. I broke uh, the fifth metatarsal, I guess it is. And he just put me in a surgical shoe. He's not an expert in foot breaks, so he put me in just a shoe and sent me on my way. I thought I better make an appointment to see a specialist. So we went to see a sports medicine specialist, and he came in the office and looked at my x-ray and said, "Oh, you have a Jones fracture." That's like, it's the most common fracture with like athletic movement, but it's also like the worst fracture because where the break is on the foot, it's called a watershed area. And there's not that much blood flow, so the healing's really bad. A lot of the times these are non-unions, they're really serious. So basically, you shouldn't have been walking on it at all the last week, and you probably need surgery if it's going to be normal again. And I just like looked at my 3-year-old who was climbing all over the office, and I burst into tears because I thought, how can I do this while I'm pregnant? I have other young children. Um, I felt really hopeless. So I went down the rabbit hole of Googling and looking up YouTube things and other people's experiences. And it seemed like everything was pointing to you need surgery. So I went to 4 other doctors hoping to get different news. And they all were like, oh, yeah, you probably need surgery. And I was so uncomfortable with this because I was 20 weeks pregnant and I had never been under general anesthesia. And I really just felt so uncomfortable with the idea of putting my baby in any kind of risk. I felt like nobody was really looking out for my baby at all. Um, and I just I just thought there had to be a different way. So a few weeks later, when I went back to one of the doctors that I liked the most, he said, no, you really do need surgery because you probably won't be able to use your foot regularly again if you don't, which really freaked me out. I'm a fitness enthusiast. I'm a busy mom. I'm running around all over the place. So I scheduled the surgery, and I was just terrified though. Like, it didn't feel right. I just felt so scared. And a good friend of mine sent me to see one more specialist the day before my surgery, and I went up there. By this time, I was wearing a boot. He took the boot off of me and he kind of wiggled my foot around. He said, "Does this hurt?" He put pressure on it. "Does this hurt?" And I was like, "Not really." And he's like, "Okay, take the boot off. Um, Walk around in it the remaining of your pregnancy." He was shocked that so many doctors were taking my pregnancy so lightly, that they just kept x-raying me and were recommending surgery. He's like, "You do not need surgery right now. This is like, just let's wait till the end of your pregnancy. Let's see what happens." And this felt really good to me because of a few things. Number one, when I was doing a whole bunch of research about this kind of break and people saying that you should go non weight bearing, it didn't make a lot of sense to me because of the fact that the issue for healing was the lack of circulation. And I felt like to increase the circulation, you should be moving around, like carefully moving around and listening to your body, but moving around and getting some blood to the area. I also looked up some other ways to increase blood flow, and one of them was acupuncture. So I started to go to an acupuncturist, and he just stuck all the needles in my feet, and it didn't really hurt that bad. It was fine, and I think that it helped. Anyway, so after I felt so relieved after this final doctor told me that it's not completely hopeless. Like, let's worry about this after your pregnancy. So after my pregnancy, I went back up a few weeks later, and I was really nervous about what the X-ray would show. Like, if it would have gotten so much worse, like if I would need more repair because I hadn't gotten the surgery earlier. And anyway, they did the X-ray, and then he was like, he looked at it, and he's like, if I hadn't known you'd broken this bone, I would have never known the bone was broken. Like, it healed so well. There's not even a shadow. Like, there's nothing there. It completely fused back together. It's not a non-union. It healed just great. And I was just so relieved. I was crying. At this point, I'd had my baby and everything, and I, it just like I just feel like for anybody else who's out there, maybe even pregnant in the same situation as me, who gets a Jones fracture and they're looking around at all the information and everything says, you need surgery, like completely non-weight bearing, I feel like there's hope, and I'm not giving medical advice at all. I just am sharing my own personal story to, like, I wish I had found any positive story out there about a Jones fracture, because when I was looking, there wasn't. And that's why I'm making this like super embarrassing, unprofessional video to like put the information out there that my body did heal itself. Like, our bodies are so cool, and they can heal our broken bones, like including that fracture. Like, even though they told me that it probably wouldn't. So anyway, I'm just putting that out there. And I want this to, like, just if it reached one person and helped one person, then all of this embarrassment of posting this video would be worth it. Anyways, I'm going to insert some photos. Again, I don't know what I'm doing. I'll insert photos of my break and of how it looked healed and all that stuff. Also, another cute side note is the day I broke my foot, I had my first ultrasound for my baby, and we got the cutest image of him giving me the thumbs up, like, it's gonna be okay, mom, and it was okay. So yeah.